Hi everybody, Heather Mason 76 here. Unfortunately, this is kind of an update video, but it's kind of a sad update video. I've been dealing with a lot. Many of you know outside of my channel that I have been very busy. I've been working 40 plus hours a week helping to help my mom with payments for her hospital bills and stuff. And unfortunately, on March 25th, my mom passed away. She was very sick. She had congestive heart failure and slate COPD, along with it was just a mix of everything. It was really a lot. I had to call the ambulance to come get her on that Saturday, which was the 23rd, and they came and got her, took her to the hospital because she was having breathing problems because congestive heart failure means you don't have good circulation sometimes, and your legs and stomach and body parts can start swelling up. Well, my mom's stomach had gotten so swollen that it had obstructed her diaphragm, so she wasn't able to breathe properly. So she apparently made one trip to come upstairs to use the restroom, and she just got completely winded. So I called for the ambulance. They came and got her. It was regular procedure because it's to the point where my mom's had 3 bouts of pneumonia already since November. So it's one of those things where it's a common thing now for her to, for her to have been in the hospital. It's just one of those things. And she called me Sunday, said that she was feeling better. They had to stabilize her because her heart was apparently beating a weird rhythm or at an alarming rate, and they just needed to settle her down and stuff. So she got rested and everything worked, and then she called me Sunday and said everything was doing fine. She was doing better. And then Monday, it just kind of really happened really quick. A nurse came in apparently that morning and had asked her how she was feeling, and she told her that she wasn't feeling really well. She couldn't breathe right, so they had to, since she was having such a hard time breathing, they had to knock her out or put her under and put a breathing tube down her throat because that was the only way to really get her to breathe. And apparently after a while, her kidneys weren't doing well, and they contacted me at my store to ask, because of course then she was still out, to do dialysis if they had to, which of course I was like, do whatever you need to do to make sure that she's okay. And apparently soon after that she had coded, meaning that her heart had stopped briefly or lost rhythm or whatever. And so they brought her back, and she was okay at first. They said she was a little lethargic, and then there was nothing there. She had no response. She had no reaction to pain. She had nothing. They think what happened was she had either a stroke or a massive hemorrhage to her brain. And by the time I got there after work, she was clammy. She was a ghost at this point. She was no longer my mom. The neurologist came in and said she was basically brain dead. There was no activity, but they couldn't stabilize her enough to do a CAT scan to find out if there was anything they could do. And they had to give me an option where, because when I had got there about 5 o'clock, when I got off of work, she, about 15 minutes after I got there, she coded again. And my mom was a very small woman. She's very frail. And just doing the compressions alone it's traumatic even for a person like me, but for someone so fragile as her, it's just, there was just no point in doing it again. So they gave me the option about do not resuscitate, so that's what I agreed on doing, because bringing her back would be pointless, because she wasn't herself anymore. They said she probably wouldn't last the night anyway. But, yeah, so since all that, I've had to deal with paperwork and burial and memorial service, getting over the whole business. And my aunt and uncle are here for now, but my uncle's got to leave next Wednesday, but I don't really know what I'm going to do. I'm still in the process of getting all my bills paid and trying to get everything sorted so I can live my own life and move to Scotland and live with Adam. But I have to get everything else sorted here first, and it's really causing problems. I've been dealing with a lot, and that's why I haven't been doing any YouTube videos. And after all this, it's funny because I actually did a video that Saturday before I called the ambulance, because I was up here doing one, talking about 2 plushies that I had finished that I was about to ship out. And I went to the post office and came back, and then maybe 2 hours later was when Mom got winded and I had to call for the ambulance. But I still haven't posted that video up. I probably will once I post this one up, though, but it's just one of those things where you get used to, when you take care of a person that's sick, you get used to calling the hospital, calling the doctors. They stay there for a week. Bills pile up, you bitch and moan, but you get through it. You just expect them to come home every time. And it didn't this time. My mom was an amazing woman. She made me who I was. She made me the video game person, the person that loved video games, that loved nerdy things, that loved Doctor Who, and always accepted me for who I was. She never pressured me to be something I wasn't. She made me who I was, and just times are really hard for me right now, so that's why I haven't posted up anything, because I've been taking care of my mom. But since my mom is gone now I have to deal with everything else, and so I don't know when the next update's going to be. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week. I've currently been trying to do some kind of streaming. My friends have been trying to have me do something called whogirl's Mom's Memory Box, and I also have something called whogirl's Kilt Fund underneath, to have it where people can pitch in and help me try to get everything sorted, because I can't live here forever. My uncle is not making it that way, and it's like, I just don't want to be homeless. It's like I'm doing everything I can to make it so I can get across as soon as I can, but that's going to take time and money and effort, and frankly right now with everything going on between the paperwork and everything with Mom, I really have no energy. Like, I haven't gone back to work yet because it's just been too hard to deal with right now. We're currently going through stuff in the house, but it's just, this house, my grandmother's had this house for 50 years, and currently she's in Arizona because my uncle started taking care of her about 6 months ago, well, last July, and I was taking care of my mom since then because she wasn't doing well. And my grandmother has dementia, so it's just, it had gotten really bad to a point where there was no way I could take care of both of them. So it was best that my uncle took her. But now he's here, and his wife is taking care of my grandmother, you know, out in Arizona. But So he's here helping me with things, but it's just, you have to take things one thing at a time, and it's just kind of really overwhelming sometimes, because it's like, I want to get stuff, you know, sorted and arranged, and things thrown out, and things donated, and things sold, and, you know, just everything in general, but it's like there's 50 plus years of crap in this house, and it's just like, it's not just my room, it's everywhere. The attic, the closet, the basement, you know, we don't even have a basement, but I'm pretty sure even the crawl space has stuff, and it's just, it's gonna be really rough the next week or so. I just really don't know what else to say. It's been really rough. There are times where I'm okay talking about stuff like this, and there's times where I can't hold it back anymore. It just comes and goes in waves. It's the only way I can really explain it. There's times where I can sit here and it's just like, you know, a calm little ripple. It doesn't bother me as much, you know. But then there's times where it's just like a tidal wave comes and just knocks you down, and you don't know if you're ever gonna come back up, because it's just so overwhelming, like thinking that someone that you're so used to always being here is gone, and you just, I think a part of me really just still can't wrap my head around it, because it's just, I'm so used to her always being here. It's just really rough. I had to make some decisions because of her burial, because she didn't have anything really planned, because nobody really planned for her to, I don't think she'd even planned for this to happen this soon. But, she made it where I actually had to have her cremated, because it was the only way for this to happen. I got engaged, in March to some of you who know my boyfriend Adam, who lives in Scotland, also known as the Dr. Zed. We've been together for almost 4 years, and, you know, I can't see my life without him. But my mom knew how happy I was, and she had already told me that I needed my own life, that I was 27, that it wasn't fair that I was, you know, not married yet, didn't have kids, just because I was taking care of everybody else in my family. And she goes, it's your turn to have your own family and live your own life. It's not fair that you're stuck here taking care of me. I don't know if maybe she knew what was going to happen, or if she didn't want me to worry anymore. But it's just, but the one thing though that I am kind of glad of is that Adam came here for once. He was here in March, and he proposed, and I said yes, and Mom was here for that, so maybe that happened for a reason, so at least Mom would know that I was at least taken care of, you know, that at least I had somebody here, or at least somebody with, you know, that I was with at the time or something. But, you know, it's just, I just wasn't expecting it to be like this, you know. But her whole plan, regardless of her health issues, and I already know that the doctor probably wouldn't have let her do this because of her bad circulation and everything. I'm pretty sure the doctor wouldn't even let her get on a plane. But they had it where she was going to do, where she was like, oh, I want to have it where I can go visit you for 6 months, and then I can go home for 6 months. And, you know, she wanted to stay with me for a good amount of time. And I wouldn't have cared, you know. I wouldn't have cared having her there with me for 6 months. But she wanted to be buried next to her brother, who died in '83 by a tragic accident. So we had her buried next to her brother. But I wanted my mom to be with me in Scotland too, so we had her cremated. So that way, once I get married, we can spread her ashes there, and she'll be there with me in Scotland too. It's the only way that could happen. It's the only way that she could get both. And I know that she originally wanted a casket, but she didn't have anything written on paper, and it seemed like this was the only way for her to really have what she wanted before she died. So yeah, that's been my past couple weeks. Plus, on top of that, some asshole broke into my storage unit and stole the only things that I actually wanted out of there, which is my boxes of action figures. All the ones that I had collected from Kingdom Hearts play arts, the play arts from Final Fantasy, and the and like some miscellaneous ones. Like there was one with Ayaka with the 2 logs from Tenchi. There was a DBZ like young teen Goku my mom got me one year for my birthday, years and years ago when I was like in high school. There was a whole bunch of other figures. I'm missing most if not all of my Resident Evil figures. I only have a few up here from getting from a small box from there a couple of months ago. I'm missing a lot of them because somebody decided to ruin my week on top of everything that had happened with dealing with the loss of my mother. So yeah, it's been a hell of a week. Hopefully things will sort out though soon, because I have to contact the claim company and hopefully get some of the money back. But as it stands right now, I'm missing 30 action figures and 4 Sega CD games. The Sega CD games are actually pretty easy to find. My Sega Genesis games were still there, thank God, so I brought those back home with me. And there was 1 box of action figures that were left, so I brought those back. But there's like 3 boxes of action figures that are missing, and of course the asshat decided to take 1 clear tote that looked like it had all my CDs and DVDs in it when it was just all my empty cases, because they're all in slipcovers here. So whoever did that, good job, fucko, because you just ended up with empty cases anyway. And but yeah, I'm missing like all my Resident Evil figures and everything else. But since I'm missing like 30 figures, and some of them I've looked up already, the Comic-Con exclusive for Leon alone for Resident Evil 4 is like, from NECA, is like almost $80 now. And it's like, and I had the thermal scope regenerator one that was ultra rare too, and that's about $80. So it's like at this point right now, with even $50 a piece for all those figures, it's already $1,500. So at this rate, I'll probably have to claim for the whole 2K, because there won't be any other way around it. You know what I mean? Because most of those prices for those figures have all gone up for me to replace any of them. So I really don't know what I'm going to do with all that. It's just so much of a mix. The only good thing out of it is, like I said, they didn't take my Sega Genesis games, and they left 1 box. And I think mine was the last one that was hit, because they didn't touch the one that was next to me, but they hit the other 4 that was next to me on this side. So they just went down the whole row, and I think they hit me last. That's why I didn't take everything, or at least a substantial amount, as much as they took out of the other people's. Because from what I heard, they took a substantial amount out of the other ones. So I guess I kind of got a little lucky, but still. Anyway, I wasn't planning for this to be a 20-minute update video, but I just wanted to let everybody know what's going on. There's a few people on here that already knew about the passing of my mom, but it's just been a rough ride for the last week, and I'm hoping I get through it. It's really going to be rough, but you'll see me update more stuff. Like I said, I have a charity fund up, because it's the only way I'm going to be able to probably pay bills and stuff, because I am going to be selling and getting rid of a lot of stuff, but I need, you know, I need money for bills and stuff like that as well. I mean, I'm working, but it's just, you know, it's just one of those things where it's just like I really don't know how I'm going to be after this coming Wednesday when my uncle leaves. I don't know where I'm going to stand with everything in the situation and everything, because we were stuck paying the bills, and even with me only paying the water bill every 3 months, I was struggling, and my mom only paid the power bill, and she was struggling. And it's like, now I'm stuck with both of those bills, and I was struggling with just a water bill every 3 months. So it's like, I really don't know what I'm really gonna do. You know, it's like I only have so many bills I have to pay here, and it's just like I struggle with just those alone. You know, but anyway, I just needed to vent and just let everybody know what's going on with me. But thanks everybody for being around and being patient, and thanks for everybody that's been following my Twitch TV channel, that's been watching me play games, because it seems like the only thing that's really kind of helping me get through things, along with watching other people stream, takes my mind off of things for a little bit, so it kind of helps. But I just wanted to thank everybody for their support, and thank everybody for being there for me, and, you know, just being people I can talk to in general, because I really don't know what I'd do without them, because it's really rough for me right now. But thanks everybody, and I guess I'll see you guys later.